Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Commerce64. How you guys are doing today? And so I'm back to recording some videos slightly right now at the moment because my brother was nice enough to let me use his camera in the meantime until I get like a new one. So I'm probably gonna be trying using this camera for in the meantime. So for today's video, what I'm gonna be doing is that I'm gonna be doing like a review slash a somewhat review of giving my thoughts on the movie that's came out this very day on July 23rd. And that movie is Inspector Gadget with Matthew Broderick. Yeah, so this movie came out, this very day, back in 1999. So it's something years old. I don't know how old now. I think it's more than 30. I think it's but it's this movie's anniversary, so I figured it'd be a fun video to talk about it and make a review on it. Yeah, well, because this movie doesn't really get a good rep from people because a lot of people dislike it because it's not close to the cartoon. Because Dr. Claw, his face is seen on screen multiple times. Unlike in the cartoon where it's not visible, where he's just not visible. And the movie does have a lot of adult humor in there, and some of the characters don't seem to look like the characters. Like Michelle Trachtenberg, may she rest in peace. She plays Penny, who has blonde hair, but Michelle Trachtenberg is brunette. She has brown hair. These kind of things happen, and also Lindsay Lohan was actually originally offered the part as Penny, and she basically was a redhead at the time, and she still is. So it doesn't seem like they were trying to stay too much faithful to the cartoon, But yeah, that's one of the reasons why this movie does get a lot of backlash because, it's not much like the cartoon. But to me, it didn't really affect me that much. Mainly because, number one, I never seen the cartoon until I saw this movie like years ago. See, my brother, not the one who's letting me use his camera. My older brother, he had this on VHS many years ago, and he got it for Christmas. I think it was Christmas of 1999. Now, first we actually got a bootleg VHS, I think, of the movie, or a bootleg DVD. I think it was a bootleg VHS. And the first thing that I saw was, when Inspector Gadget and Robot Gadget, when they fell off that tall thing on the bridge and they fell on those shopping carts, and they were riding around the streets. That was actually one of the first scenes I actually saw of this movie. Yeah, on that bootleg VHS, I think it was a bootleg VHS. And then later on, my brother, older brother, he got this on VHS. And I actually used to remember loving this movie a lot as a kid. And to be honest, I still love this movie to this day. Is this movie good? Maybe, probably not, And yeah, it does. Watching it now, it does feel like it is kind of cringe. It is kind of a cringe movie. But honestly, guys, this movie was still somewhat entertaining in a way. Yeah, so the story is, Inspector Gadget, or John Brown as he's called, he's a police officer. He wants to be, I think he wants to be promoted. I think he wants to get like a badge or something. Now, it has been a while since I've seen this movie, but I do remember certain things in it. He wants to be taken seriously as an inspector. And then one day, apparently, Brenda, who's played by, I forgot the name of the actress, apparently she and her father were working on moving on robotics, I think, something. Like, there was this foot that they were moving and such. And apparently, Dr. Claw, who's given the name, stands for Skull-X. He basically kills Brenda's father and steals the foot. And Officer John Brown, he goes after them, and during the chase scene, he gets Dr. Claw, and then they cause him to crash his car, and then Skull-X, he just took a cigarette and he threw it at him, and it explodes. But John, he actually survives, and out of John's car, a huge bowling ball comes out of the car and basically lands on Skull-X's hand. Ah, my hand! Yeah, I remember that scene. That scene was actually hilarious. And that's pretty much how he ended up getting the mechanical claw right here. See right here. And then, you know, John Brown, he gets chosen as for the Gadget program that they were planning to do. So they put some parts into him, you know, and he becomes Inspector Gadget. And Brenda teaches him how to use his gadgets and such, and along the way and such. And, you know, during the course of the film, you know, John, you know, is trying to, like, use his gadgets, but he doesn't know how to use it properly. And he does get help, and along the way he gets help from the Gadget Movie, voiced by Dale Hughes. I think Dale Hughes is a great comedian. And also, during the course of the film, later on, Skolex creates Robo Gadget. You know, a new version of John Brown, Inspector Gadget. And then, you know, later on, near the end of the film, you know, John defeats Robo Gadget, and Dr. Claus sent for Skolex. He gets captured, and it's like a happy ending. And John and Brenda, they get together and such. So, you know, yeah, that's pretty much the plot of the film. But I'm pretty sure almost everybody pretty much knows the plot of this movie, and who has probably already seen this movie, I assume, because it's an old movie. I'm sorry if that was a bit spoiler, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have basically got to see this movie at least. You know, a lot of people have reviewed this movie. And yeah, you know, this movie wasn't well received, but I think it did do well in the box office from what I remember. You know, Rupert Everett, he did put the movie as on his list of worst movies of 1999. I mean, to be honest, guys, this movie's not really that bad. Yeah, it does have some cringe moments in it, but you know something? It still has some entertaining moments in it. The movie is entertaining. The movie's fun, you know. Just like the live-action Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, that movie, you know, may not be too faithful to the games, but, you know, they at least kind of tried, and the movie was at least fun. And heck, even with the Minecraft movie. Sure, not a lot of people like that, but I thought it was okay for what it was, and it was kind of fun. It was just like turn your brain off and have fun, you know. It wasn't taking itself too serious, you know. Just fantasy, adventure, action, fun. That's what movies are sometimes, for the most part. But yeah, you know, guys, this movie is actually pretty decent. I think this movie's... Sure, do I think it's good now? Yeah, yes. Looking back, normally it's in a way it kind of isn't, because there are just some things in it, like, yeah, it does have some cringe moments and, you know, joke and stuff, you know. But, you know, it's still an entertaining movie. We can't deny that. And to be honest, one thing that you cannot deny is the music video for this movie. The music video from Youngstown, I'll Be Your Everything. Oh man, that song is still kick-ass to this day. That song is still fire. You know, if you need a friend, you got me. I'll be your everything. You can do it automatic. Now let's go, 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 go now, go, go, Gadget. Yeah, you cannot deny that song is just fucking awesome to this very day. Now there's another version of this song where they just take out the, take out go, 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 Gadget. Remove all the parts that feature related to Inspector Gadget in there, and have some different lyrics, like something like probably freak you with my gadgets, yeah, something like that. Like, you know, I'm not sure if I heard any other songs from them. I probably have, but that's like the #1 song I know from them, because I'll Be Your Everything is just, that song is just cinema. Just, I might listen to it later on, maybe. But other than that, guys, this movie was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. Like, in terms of the characters, you know, I thought Matthew Broderick was pretty cool as John Brown. He wasn't dumb or as clueless as how Inspector Gadget really is, but you know, he did seem like, I thought he was fine with what he was doing, because you know, again, this is a movie that's based on a cartoon, and not all live action movies based on cartoons are always going to get the source material down. That's the thing. Like John Brown, I thought he was a great protagonist. He was just a great character. I liked his personality. He was nice, kind of sweet, and all this stuff. And he felt like a character who you actually want to root for. Yeah. Michelle Trachtenberg, again, may she rest in peace. You know, she did a good job as Penny. Now, I do think this was one of the first movies I saw her in, or I think it was Harriet the Spy. Probably was Harriet the Spy. But I actually do remember having a massive crush on Michelle Trachtenberg when I was young. I did. And I still kind of, you know, continue to have a crush on her later on, even though years later I didn't really follow too much on her. And, well, the recent news of her passing months earlier, like, you know, it's really tragic that we lost her. But may she rest in peace, and, you know, she's in a better place now. And I did do a video, tribute rest in peace video to Michelle Trachtenberg. You can go check it out on my channel. But, you know, I thought she did an okay job as Penny. Even though she didn't seem to have too much to do in the movie until later on, where she encounters Sykes, and I guess she's somewhat Sykes, who works for Dr. Claude Sanford Skolex. She does try to convince him to somewhat come over on the side of good and not be evil anymore. Well, yeah, that's. Oh, so yeah. Speaking of Sykes, there are some characters in there who were never in the cartoon. You know, Sykes, Brenda, the mayor, and now Chief. I think he was in the cartoon. He was a guy always giving Inspector Gadget ideas for cases and such. So yeah. You know, and Brain. You know, now sure, Brain is basically played by a regular dog, which I don't know if that dog is still alive today. I don't know, but I thought Brain was okay. Brain was fine. Fine, you know. I mean, yeah, it wasn't as look exactly how Brain looked in the cartoon, but you know what, you know. I guess that maybe they could have made a CGI dog that would look exactly like Brain. Brain pulled out of the cartoon and make CGI version, like they did with Scooby Doo in the live action Scooby Doo movies, or Garfield and live action Garfield movies. But you know, it's fine what it was. They chose to use a regular dog. And like, sure, the special effects and the CG in here, they're not bad. They're pretty standard and pretty fine, you know. And in terms of the other characters, the mayor, she was fine, you know, okay, I guess. The chief, you know, the guy who plays the chief, I forgot his name, but I think he was also in the movie Matthew Broderick. Apparently he passed away. I'm not sure when, but I heard he passed away, but may he rest in peace. And when he played the chief, I guess he did an okay job. I mean, to be honest, he was kind of a jerk at first because he didn't believe in John Brown, think that John Brown could do a good job, because John wanted to like help find Skolex and such, and he was like, "You're not a man." And you know, and John's like, "I can do more than just rescue cats and all this other stuff, but I can help be put on the Skolex case." But you know, but then later on in the film, he does start to respect Inspector Gadget, John Brown. And, yeah. So most of the character cast did a good job in this movie. Like, Andy Dick plays the scientist dude. He's kind of a funny character. I forgot his name. And Sykes, you know, I forgot the actor's name. Don't know the actor's name. But, you know, I think he did an okay job, you know. So most of the characters were pretty fine in this movie. And Robo Gadget was hilarious. So yeah, this movie's not really as bad as many people say it is. Now, one thing I do kind of wonder is, if maybe you guys might have noticed, but there is just an extended version of this movie, and we don't know if that extended version will ever be released. Some clips of it has showed up online somewhere, like an extended scene of Robo Gadget and John Brown and shopping carts, and the robot guy's like putting stuff on him. He's like, "Don't let robots have more fun," and John's like, "Never," you know, and other things, you know. Hopefully that extended cut will come out, even though I highly doubt Disney will ever release it. But yeah, honestly guys, I still love this movie. Yeah, you know, the theme song is so kick-ass, you know, putting on sound and all that such. And hopefully we do get that extended cut released soon, someday, hopefully. So yeah, I'm going to end this video soon because the battery on this camera is about to die. But I'll keep you updated and I'll be doing more videos. Next up, I'm going to be doing a review of Disney's movie Skyrunners, Disney XD's original, first ever and only original movie, Skyrunners. So be on the lookout for that. So this is Comrade 64. Peace out, guys.